Hey folks, welcome back to The Pulse. I'm Marcel, and today I'm going to share with you something I just realized last night, as a matter of fact, which is the biggest benefit that I've experienced from NMN. This is after taking it for 3 years and after experiencing many changes and benefits, such as the improved energy, focus, the mental acuity related to focus, recovery from fitness and sports, less allergies, which I've suffered my whole life from, less sickness or less severe illnesses and colds and flus, those kinds of things. Anxiety attacks are now just gone. And some strange things like no more bleeding gums, no more hemorrhoids, and just better healing in general. What happened was we just started our indoor tennis season last night, and it's a group of 10, 12 guys, and we rotate. So you'll play 4 per week. So you don't play every week, but you still get some competitive playing during the winter. So we have a court, we play doubles. These are guys in my age group, give or take 5, 10 years apart, up or down. And last night was the first night, and you talk. Like every 4 games, we take a water break, and there's small talk. You chit-chat about this or that, or common friends that people know. I did mostly listening because this is my first year being a part of this group. They all know each other better than I do, but they don't see each other all the time. They see each other when they play tennis. And all of the small talk was about, basically, to break it down for you, their bodies falling apart. I've got this, I've got that. I mean, 90% of all the chit-chat was about injuries and just essentially aging and falling apart. That was the whole conversation. And so as I heard this, and it wasn't just their own experiences, but friends who were having the same things, it just went on and on and on and on, to the point where one guy even said, enough of the stories. He'd even had enough. And he was participating in this discussion. And I thought, how strange, this is like really smacking me in the face because I couldn't relate to them anymore. I understood it. I'd gone through it, but I'm at this point now. I just can't relate to what they're talking about. I don't feel that way. And tennis doesn't bring those things top of mind. I'm just focused on running around and playing tennis and enjoying it. But it just seemed like every game, I got this, and my leg, and I couldn't get to that ball because of this. And if they're good players, by the way. If the ball came to them, they were in great shape. But if they had to run over there, for my partner, I was doing most of the running. There were strange movements, and you could just see these guys all around my age. It's different when it's up and close and front and center. And so, yes, the biggest benefit for me has been that I'm no longer falling apart. Knock on wood, God willing, NMN willing, that this continues. But gosh, it smacked me in the face so hard seeing them. And the fact that they're sharing this, like they felt like people would be sympathetic in this setting. This group of guys would understand what they're going through, and they just naturally started going on and on and on about it. They weren't talking about the things that Europeans typically talk about when they get together, where they're going on vacation, what they did on their last vacation, where they ate, what they did, what they saw. Those are usually the conversations that you have in this age group of people about to retire or retiring who have either a lot of vacation time or unlimited vacation time. And they go places, they travel around Europe. Those are usually the conversations that I find people my age in Germany are having, but not on the tennis court. On the tennis court, it's all about their bodies falling apart and how they can't get around and do, but they keep playing, which is really cool. That part of it's really cool because tennis will extend your life and will extend your health. But I couldn't relate to them. I couldn't contribute to the conversation anymore. I could start talking about NMN. I just didn't feel right about it. I didn't feel like that was the right reaction in that moment. Like, just let them talk. Let them get it out. And then maybe at some point, when it happens again, bring it up. Say, hey, I remember you guys talking about your body's falling apart, and I don't feel that way. And I don't feel that way, I believe, because I'm taking this substance called NMN, and I've changed my lifestyle around it, and I'm experiencing all these benefits. But that top benefit for me, really talking to them made me aware of it, that I'm no longer falling apart. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great. It's also kind of sad. These are conversations they're having with us that they would be having with their doctor. You could imagine them having with a family member. Probably not kids, because parents tend to not want to drag their kids down with their problems. They want to be there to listen to their kids' problems, right? They feel like that's their natural role. So yeah, in a way it was disturbing, but also just very eye-opening that I can't relate to these guys. I enjoy the tennis. Like, I enjoy, maybe I'm moving around better, but I'm not better than them in general at tennis. So it's still a lot of fun for me. Just that I have probably an unfair advantage in that I can move around a lot better. But what they don't understand, what they don't really know, is that I can't relate to their bodies falling apart. Not anymore. I used to. I understood it very well 3-4 years ago, but I just don't understand it anymore. And I'm too far removed now, being 3 years into this journey, to fully get what they're talking about. And I think that's what we do here. I think this is like 1,000 times exploded the size of that group of guys. Here, there's thousands of us, and we're sharing these stories with each other, probably things that you wouldn't tell everybody, probably things that you'd tell your family. You share them here in the comments, things you're going through, things that have improved for you. It's kind of what I'm doing with you guys. I'm sharing the positive stuff because I've had these positive changes, but it's still a venue. It's a place for me to come and share this stuff, other than just kind of letting it bounce around my own head or bombarding my wife with all these stories all the time, which I do anyway, because it's remarkable to see, these turn of events. But the power of you guys commenting, and this is not just a ploy to get more comments. I had an eye-opening experience just this morning. I woke up and I saw a response to a comment I made on a video 8 years ago. 8 years. And it's a video of a song called What's She Really Like by Jimmy Littleton. My dad recorded it in the early 1960s. And someone had posted it. They recorded the record, posted it online, but the photo in the video was not my dad. They had just got some stock singer of some teen idol from the 50s, and they put that up there as the thumbnail. And I thought, well, that's odd. That's not my dad's picture, but that's him singing. And, it was a song that originally was written by Elvis Presley. And I don't know that Elvis even ever released it or exactly what happened with it, but somehow my dad got in the studio, got a hold of it, and sang it. He also had one of his own songs on the B-side called Fountain of Love. And it was a mild hit in the Midwest at the time. It was on the radio and sold a few thousand copies and had some success. But around that same time, my dad attended broadcasting school, which was something that he was very proud of. He had the certificate his whole life, and he kept it in the garage in a frame. But that certificate was always around. I was always reminded, I think it was Midwestern School of Broadcasting in Chicago. And so this reply, 8 years later, was, I attended broadcasting school with Jimmy in 1962. That's 62 years ago. This guy's got to be, I think my dad was 24 at the time when he went to broadcasting school, maybe 25. So this guy's got to be 85, 86 years old. And the fact that he remembered, my dad and going to broadcasting school, I don't know how long that school was, 6 months, a year. I don't know how long he went to that school for. It wasn't like a college 2-4 year thing. But somehow this guy, I think his name was Jerry, remembered, my dad after all that time and replied 8 years after I made my comment about that being my dad and that not being his picture. And I thought, how strange. Like I had just had a little argument with my son this morning, he was asking for money, but he was asking for money when he was about to miss his train to school with his brother. And I'm like, no, you've got 4 minutes to make the train. Don't ask me for money right now. You should have told me earlier. And then I came up and saw that comment. And I felt like, wow, father, son, my dad's no longer around. My dad passed away 21 years ago. So it was like that connection, that thread. Somehow it all mattered, and somehow it hit me. Wow, look at the power of a YouTube comment. Like, I comment about a song that was posted by someone who never knew my dad, that's my dad. And then 8 years later, someone found that comment and replied that they knew him from broadcasting school in '62. Now look at this community and look at how we interact. And think about the fact that, you're making comments and you're impacting people's lives, and it will impact people's lives for years, because these videos will keep circulating and they'll come up in search and people will find them and listen to stories like this for years, for who knows how long. We've already seen thousands of people. Matter of fact, I'm going to share some new data in an upcoming, probably do it in a live video. Huge story, with how many people that have viewed this channel, used my code ThePulse, and bought NMN from DoNotAge. The numbers just keep growing, and they're staggering, just completely staggering to me. And just imagine all the thousands of comments and stories, personal accounts that people have shared with the changes that they've had about their own bodies not breaking down, about your own bodies not breaking down anymore, and how cool that is, how amazing that is, and how you've turned friends and relatives also onto NMN and these protocols. So just a reminder, do comment, do share. It does matter. It does reach people. It does inspire people. And even having to fight against the algorithm and the slowdown in traffic with YouTube, we're still making a difference. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys real soon.